He wasn't kidding. The exciting thing that you guys are going to be able to see is my glasses will magically turn black as I'm speaking to you, and I will be channeling John Lennon for a slight fee as the day goes on. Those of you who were here last year know that this whole conference came about after my friend Rob passed on, and stop. And I just got very concerned with, with Rob being gone and the chances of any new material coming out, that there was this horrific, in my mind at least, there was this horrific reality where the books kind of just went out of print, and somewhere down the line in some awful future probability, Seth would be a footnote in some Abraham book, and that would be about it. And it'd be a trivia question, who turned Jerry Hicks onto, his inner self, or the road to his inner self. And I just could not let that happen. And I'm a fairly stubborn person, and I just figured, well, somebody's got to do something to fix this. And I asked for guidance, I asked for dreams, I asked my inner self. And basically, I got a whole grouping of dreams where Rob was in my dreams. And he was basically telling me I had to do something. And a good chunk of the dreams were me telling Rob and Jane and Seth, actually, that I'm way too shy to be, I'm the last guy you would want to do this out of all of the remaining ESP class members. And they kind of laughed and said, no, you're exactly the person we want to do this. So with the help of some wonderful Bay Area Sethies, the conference came about. And again, I need to thank these folks for being family and being much more than just a community. It's definitely they're my family, and I love them very much, and I really appreciate the support and the help that they've given me, and that they've let me, in my own way, help them over the last year and a half or so, let themselves blossom, let themselves create realities where they were learning how wonderful they all were. And it's just me as not a teacher, but me as the guy whose house people come over to read the material and talk about the ideas and listen to CDs and tapes of Seth and Samari and Jane. And me being able to kind of sneak my energy out there to kind of key some of their energy off. Not like obviously they create their reality, and I'm just, old Uncle Lawrence trying to guide them along the way in whatever way I can. But anyway, long story short, the conference happened. To my utter amazement, it happened, it was successful, everybody seemed to have a good time. I kind of had a good time, but I was running around a lot, and I wasn't working, you see. I was on unemployment, so I could dedicate all my time to the conference. Well, this year I created a reality where I had a job. Not only did I create a reality where I had a job, I created a reality where I start work at 4:30 in the morning and get off at around 10. And I've streamlined the Seth sleeping schedule. It's called not sleeping. And you don't remember your dreams, and you don't remember pretty much anything, But you do remember you have to phone the hotel and make sure all the little hiccups are taken care of. And you have to call your friends on the East Coast who convince them to come out here and set up the cameras and run around and deal with all of this stuff. And just, bore the hell out of your friends with, oi, oh, the hotel, oi, whatever else I was. And I apologize to all you guys for that I put, who I put that through. But anyway, now that I'm through kvetching, I want to greet you all and remind you all that, without you, this is nothing. This can't happen. And there's obviously a fair amount of Somali here today. There's also other families here, and it's great. And we've created this wonderful thing. And I know we're going to create a wonderful conference. Everybody's going to have a good time. No one's going to ramble on like I do. And you'll enjoy this. And come to the third, But, all right. You all have this thing in your folder, and I'm going to go through it. And I promised I wouldn't do that. Okay. Sorry, Merv. So welcome to the second annual California Seth Conference. I kind of said that. It's with great pleasure that I can host this special venue dedicated to exploring the depth and wisdom of Seth, Jane Roberts, and Rob Butts. I am excited that once again we have this opportunity to share ideas, enhance our individual lives, make new friends, and see Seth's philosophy continue to expand and influence our world. Making the new friends, I didn't stress well enough last time out. It's extremely important that all you folks get to know who's sitting next to you at the table, who's sitting next to you at the other table. Because, not all of us are fortunate enough to be part of a continuing Seth group and have a lot of other Seth people in their lives that you can kick the ideas around with. And I know what it's like to be a fairly serious Seth person and not really have anybody to talk it over with, to share the ideas with, to look at the world knowing fully that you create your reality through your beliefs and expectations. And when you're surrounded by friends and family who don't share that view, you get to raise a lot of eyebrows. And you also get to feel kind of lonely. But again, that's my belief. But it seems to be one that a fair amount of Sethies kind of share. And I just think that there is nothing more valuable in this life, in this time, than you having other Seth people in your life that you can share your ideas and thoughts and feelings and experiences with, and to love. It's not really us and the Muggles, but shut up, Lawrence. All right. Okay. All right. I wish to thank not only our presenters, but each person who has donated their ideas, time, and effort to make this conference a reality. Obviously, I didn't create this by myself. And again, I'm so fortunate and so lucky to have such a wonderful group of friends and family, Somali family, to help me in this situation and help me, live my life, and more importantly, let me help them, and for them to help me. It's just good stuff. All right. Oh, and a huge thank you to everyone who has come together to share in our Seth family gathering, for it is all of you gathered here that truly make this event special. So please meet, mingle, listen, be inspired, and most importantly, have a wonderful time. Best of creations. Thank you for putting up with my rambling here. Now I'm going to put somebody up here who does an even better job of rambling than I do, much, much better. And our friend Linda Dahl, who's giving a talk this year that I think will not scramble so many brains as last year's talk scrambled. And I edited that, this DVD of Linda's talk. And, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. And it was pretty high-powered stuff. And since I edited it, I got to watch it probably at least 50 times. And if you ask me now how much of it I understand, I could say, about that much, you know. And but it's a joy, it's a challenge to keep watching it, and a lot of it makes sense as I'm watching it. But then I walk away and I go, "Is that really what she meant?" You know, which to me is what makes it a lot of fun. You know, when something keeps drawing you back. So yeah, there are copies of that DVD. I'll be a capitalist for a moment. We have copies of Linda's talk on DVD for sale, and as someone who's watched it a number of times, I can tell you it's worth having. And now, pause for a moment. Just about a week before the conference was going to start, I got a letter from Tam Mossman, Jane's old editor, and he offered to let me sell a lot of Jane's memorabilia at an auction tomorrow afternoon. And I've looked at just a little earlier this morning. I finally opened the box, and I had read the descriptions, and a lot of it was like third carbon copies of letters between Jane and Tam Mossman. And I thought, that's not very exciting, you know. But I opened it up, and it was pretty mind-boggling. You know, you know, the paper's all yellow, and it really looked pretty neat. And there were a lot of class transcripts. And the person who was trying to sell them was this book dealer down in San Diego who didn't quite realize that these were the mimeographed transcripts of, you know, like every Tuesday we'd show up, and one of the first things that would happen was we'd all go and we'd put down 25 cents or whatever outrageous amount of money it was, and we'd get a mimeograph of the transcript of the previous week, and then we'd be able to discuss that. And he was asking like unbelievable money for all of this stuff. And tomorrow afternoon we will not be asking unbelievable money, because I really cannot think of a better home for this stuff than the folks in this room. And I have a message here from the powers that be to remind you that the restaurant downstairs is not open for lunch today or tomorrow. And the options are the Western, which is the next building over. And if you were to walk out and cross the highway, walk over that bridge, there's like a row of fast food restaurants and whatnot. And actually past the Western, up the block, there's some nicer restaurants. And the folks at the registration desk downstairs, not ours, the hotels, they have a sheet that they give out. At any rate, so I'm going to shut up.